REDCAT, REDCAT, REDCAT. Steve here. Just want to show you something I found out about the Gen 7 crawler. If you notice here, you could see REDCAT shows you how to assemble it. You could see the front link and the back link position that connects over here and here. Now, I don't know what REDCAT did, but everyone I seen, even on YouTube videos, the links were on wrong, just like mine were on wrong. Let me show you. Alright, the back one comes here when you get it out of the box, and in the manual they say to put it here. The front one comes down there. They bolt it on down on the bottom of the chassis, and it's supposed to be up here. I already switched mine to the stock position they show you in the manual, and I'll show you why I think they put them in the other positions. First off, let me show you. Mine are switched already, so in the stock position, when you push down and twist, the drive shaft hits one of the rods because they put it in the down position there. So why would they put a truck together that when you flex the suspension, the drive shaft hits the rod? Well, let me show you. Because when you switch it like I did, like the manual says, and you put it in that position, when you push down, what happens? The front of the servo horn hits the chassis, and the bumper extended plastic pieces hit the servo too, and then it won't go down. So what I had to do is cut a piece of the end of the bumper off on each side, and I ground a little bit, just a little bit off here, you could see, and also on the top of the servo horn, I just sanded it with a Dremel just on an angle, just a hair. So that way it could clear and the suspension works. And now you could twist your suspension and the drive shaft does not hit the link on the top anymore. So they probably put it in the bottom just because they couldn't make the suspension work, because the servo would be hitting up front the easy way out. Now, back to the rear end. When you get it stock and you push down, the drive shaft will bind a little bit. In other words, when you push down, you see that go up, it will bind on the other piece and you won't be able to push the suspension fully compressed, because it compresses in this end piece here. It'll hit in there and it won't push down. So that's probably why they put the top links in the rear over here, so it could have more downward compression and not bind out as much. But when they did that, let me show you here. Hold on a second. Now in the stock position with the link in that hole where they give it to you out of the box, the bottom of your rear end, it's hard to see, would be pointing like this, with this piece here pointing straight so you snag everything, and that'll pull this open more so it could compress more. So that's why I think they did that, because they didn't have a smaller drive shaft. But anyhow, I put mine back in the position they show in the manual. So now first off, look at this. You could see my rear end's pointed up. It's much nicer now, so it doesn't hit like the stock one. But also now, because the space got smaller, the shaft would need to be shorter. When I used to push down, it would bottom out from this piece like I mentioned before. So I had to take this off the shaft, and I cut that much off with the Dremel. So now it goes all the way down and it don't bottom to the shaft, not letting it go down because it can't compress. So that's what I found out about REDCAT. So now I have it set up working how it's supposed to be in the instruction manual. And another thing I did to it, just some other modifications, I did my steering. And you could see that in my other video. I did my steering so it goes and turns sharper. And I just added 20 weight oil in my shocks because they're kind of too thick. I like it now, it reacts a little faster. I like that better. Anyhow, check your rig out and see if you want to switch it up this way, because that's the way I think it's supposed to be in the manual, and they just didn't do it because of those problems they ran into, so they kind of did a hack job, I believe. Anyhow, Shenlanko out, and see you next time.